for this holiday, 4th of July. It's necessary. Just build my channel up. So it's great to be on since this morning, doing videos after videos. We're gonna keep it moving, man. This is the last live stream. As I'm continuing on my countdown that I started with the last two live stream videos. The top 50 underrated NFL wide receivers. The top 50 underrated NFL wide receivers. Gonna get into it. Gonna continue with Alvin Harper. You see in the thumbnail once you join the uh, the live stream. Alvin Harper should have been in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the all-time greats. He should have been a great receiver like Michael Irvin was. Michael Irvin's in the Hall of Fame currently, but unfortunately, the guy that should have been in there with him at this point should have been Alvin Harper. He should have been a great wide receiver in the NFL, and that doesn't diminish what he did for the Cowboys during the early mid '90s as they went to the Super Bowl twice and won twice with him in the lineup. And in '94, they came up short against the 49ers. But he was a big time playmaker. I remember very well all the stuff he used to do against, the 49ers in particular, making big plays against them. Um, so alongside Michael Irvin, man, this was a first class dynamic duo of receivers. Defensive backs had trouble covering. And my Harvard was a matchup nightmare whenever he faced the 49ers in the NFC Championship game of 1992 and 1993. Because as the 1992 NFC Championship game, Harper made two spectacular pass catches that stood out when Troy Aikman pumped fake and threw a long, deep ball down the right sideline. But the ball was sort of underthrown, but Harper was able to leap over defensive back Eric Davis for the catch, which is one of the great catches in NFL history. Then the catch was a 38-yard catch, but with the score 24-20 Dallas up front by 4 points with 4:22 to go. On 1st and 10, Aikman went back to pass and throws a quick slant to Harper and catches a 14-yard pass, but goes 70 yards heading into 49ers territory to set up an Aikman to receiver Kevin Martin for a 6-yard touchdown to seal the game. So in the NFC Championship game '93, Harper made another impact play when backup quarterback Bernie Kosar threw a 42-yard touchdown pass to Harper to seal the game at 35-14. Alvin Harper was a go-to player in the clutch, just as Michael Irvin, but only for a short period of time. A two-time Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys, Harper was one of the best deep threats in the NFL, but what stood out was his yards per catch, whether it was averaging 21.6 yards per catch or in 1994 he averaged 24.9 yards per catch. He was fast, man. He was big. He was strong. This is more talented than Michael Irvin was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an interview that I did when I was a radio host at Job Scope Radio. I interviewed one of his former teammates. I want to play an excerpt from that. James Washington. He's going to talk about what could have been with Alvin Harper. So we're going to get into that, and then I'm going to show you some highlights of the career of Alvin Harper. So stay tuned. Well, I want to have you on because both Dallas Cowboys team is special. Talk about Alvin Harper, man, what he could have been as a Cowboy because he's a great receiver. He just didn't do it enough. Talk about Alvin Harper and what he could have been.
Yeah, I could talk about so many dudes. I mean, including myself. If they would have been able to just keep us together, they would have found a way to keep us together. Alvin Harper was a skill set dude at 6'4", had speed, big hands. Him and Mike could have both went into the Hall of Fame together because he had that type of ability. The only negative about Alvin is that Alvin didn't work like Mike. That was the difference. You remember how I told you the difference between Jerry Rice and John Taylor is the same story between Alvin Harper and Michael Irvin. Because Alvin Harper was more talented. And I got to say this, Michael Irvin's in the Hall of Fame. Michael Irvin's great. But Alvin Harper was more talented than Michael Irvin. Yeah. But Michael Irvin worked at being great. Alvin Harper worked at being good. John Taylor worked at being good. Jerry Rice worked at being great. Two different things.
Work ethic. That's it. Key to everything. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because those Cowboys teams, especially, I think to me. Yeah, that was an excerpt that I played just right now, an interview that I did a few years back with his former teammate James Washington. He said Alvin Harper worked to be good. Michael Irvin worked to be great. He said that Alvin Harper was more talented than Michael Irvin, which is true. I mean, he made some just bigger plays, just like Irvin did against the 49ers in those championship games. But it was Harper that made the difference. So I'm gonna play some highlights to refresh your memory about this guy. So stay tuned about that. Stay tuned.
Out of timeout. Here's Aikman back to throw. Oh, going to take a Hail Mary shot. Touchdown! Alvin Harper out of the pack. How can that happen? Right in the middle of 5 Redskins. And he caught it clean. Usually, those things are...
Dallas without a timeout. 3rd and 10. Lofted for Harper. Touchdown. 3rd and 4. Leads to get to the 33. First down catch. Harper. Nice spin move. He's gone. Touchdown, Dallas.
Here's Aikman again. Flag on the play.
Play that by the way. Well, very nice. Took it with him. The 23-yard line. Here is Harper making the catch. Touchdown.
And he'll go behind 2-A, but it's Aikman with the ball, and he's going deep. Harper wide open. Touchdown. Capitalized. 3rd down. Troy Aikman goes deep to Alvin Harper. Can you say blown coverage? All alone. An 80-yard touchdown pass. Linnett for a 1-yard touchdown. Washington up 14-6 at the half. Aikman, Harper on a slant. 32-yard touchdown. Come out. Aikman with time going for a punch to Harper. Touchdown. And by a touchdown. Aikman going to work for more. To Harper. He got another one. Toward the end zone. Caught and jumping in for the touchdown is Alvin Harper. Eventually outlast the defensive line. It helped set up this. Aikman to Harper. Up top using the size. 25 yards. Hit his head, but he's okay. No flags. Ozar. Harper's gone.
Happy Cowboy. Cowboys come back big. 13-10 Cowboys in the 3rd. Troy Aikman finds Alvin Harper. The play goes for 53.
Has enjoyed remarkable success. Aikman on 1st down, going for 6. He's got an Alvin Harper. That sets up just a minute to go in the 2nd quarter. Alvin Harper will continue.
Next play, he comes back. He hits Alvin Harper in the end zone. It's 7-0 boys.
And you've seen Harper do the leaping. Watch Alvin go up against a pair of defenders, makes the catch, and cuts the game to 14-7. He dunks it in that title game in '63. So Rodney Peete takes over, and Peete comes in a 15-yard touchdown to Alvin Harper.
Garrett back to throw it. Going deep. He's got Harper. Harper's going to score. Flag on the play.
They was going to play this game close to the vest. So not so for Dallas, Tom. After the punt went out at the 6-yard line. Aikman to Alvin Harper. He could go all the way. 94 yards, the longest play from scrimmage in playoff history.
So that's the greatness of Alvin Harper, man. He should have been in the Hall of Fame, but I'm gonna play one more clip and that'll be it. This is probably the biggest play of his career, his young career, and it's the slant that he caught against the 49ers in the 1992 championship game. We're gonna play that clip. That'll be it for today. Highlight. Here we go.
the 9-yard line. Dana.
That was the biggest play of his career because that set up everything for the Cowboys to finish the deal at that time, and they won that championship game 30-20, won the Super Bowl, first of two, 92-93. So that's the thing about Harper, man. Harper was an excellent receiver, but he didn't do it long enough to be in the Hall of Fame with Michael Irvin. So we're going to expand on why he's underrated. Let's get into that quickly before I close out. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, first and foremost, when we look at why he's underrated, his modest regular season stats is obscure in terms of his role as a lethal deep threat, which he was. He was a clutch player performer for the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s. His role versus value of playing alongside Hall of Famer Michael Irvin, Harper was utilized primarily as a game-breaking number 2 receiver. He never caught more than 36 passes or recorded a 1,000-yard season in Dallas, leading many casual observers to overlook his efficiency and game-changing speed. Second, elite playoff efficiency. Harper was famous for elevating his game in crucial moments, and he did that at a high level. In 10 postseason games from 1991 to 1994, he averaged an absurd 27.3 yards per catch, consistently making massive momentum-shifting plays. The 70-yard catch in 1992 that I showed you in the 1992 NFC Championship game, and the 94-yard touchdown in the playoffs in 94 against the Packers. So he wanted to be the number one guy. So he decides to leave Dallas for a lucrative contract to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Unfortunately, he struggled to replicate his success as a primary target because he failed to produce top-tier numbers as a number one receiver. Some critics unfairly labeled him a system player rather than appreciating his elite skill set in the specific role he mastered. So that's the thing. He could have stayed with Dallas. He would have been even more greater, possibly. But he was the guy that was definitely a guy that fit the role of being a number 2 guy next to Michael Irvin. That's why he's underrated. So that's it for tonight. Be back tomorrow for more of the top 50 underrated NFL wide receivers, a book that I self-published a decade ago. That's what yet to come. Be reading from this book that I self-published. It's the best shit to come. So until then, hit the like button. Thanks for hitting the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Talk to you tomorrow.